This is silver birch, which has the papery bark, famous papery bark. Also has the leaves like that. Down on the floor, on the ground, there are the leaves. This is a useful tree for thatching, and it also is useful for skin diseases. The notorious linden tree, Tilia europaea or Tilia cordata. There's a better example of it over there that hasn't lost its leaves, and another one there. This one is the one that sweats the liquid out onto all the cars and makes everything sticky underneath it. It's also fairly allergenic with the pollen. It tends to cause hay fever, which obviously the silver birch Betula alba also does. But aside from that, it has interesting flowers which look a little bit like stalk of mold growing on a leaf, and those are useful for calming and also cause sweating, so they can be used to reduce fevers. There's an example of a leaf, Tilia cordata, because it has heart-shaped leaves. Right, now the next one along is hawthorn. Hawthorn is in the rose family, as you can see from the fruits, which look somewhat like rose hips. This is Crataegus oxyacantoides. It's been used because it's thorny. It has been used to protect barbed as a substitute for this. The leaves look like that, and it's a useful herb for reducing the blood pressure, particularly the systolic blood pressure, the higher number when you take blood pressure. It's also high in various vitamins, and it can be eaten to some extent as bread and cheese. By the way, Tilia cordata can also have its leaves used in salad, so in that way it's a salad tree. Sorbus, the rowan or mountain ash. It looks like ash because of the pinnate leaves. There's some good examples down here of pinnate leaves from mountain ash. It's not actually an ash at all, it's actually a relative of the hawthorn. As you might be able to see if there are any berries up there, but they're all gone. The berries are fairly high in a cyanogenic glycoside, but it isn't necessarily dangerous, because cyanogenic glycosides are fairly innocuous in small quantities, and it's possible to make a wine out of the berries. It's not a particularly useful tree herbally. This one here is elder. Elder grows very fast and is basically a weed. At the moment this is not a tree yet. They say that the appearance of blossom on elder is a sign of the beginning of summer, and the appearance of berries is a sign of the beginning of winter. It's a very fast growing tree, but doesn't grow very large. Sambucus nigra. It's a diaphoretic, that is, it produces sweating and can lower temperatures. The elder flowers can be used to make elderflower champagne, but it tends to be full of insects, so you're basically making insect tea when you're doing that, which is a little bit disturbing. The berries are high in anthocyanins and can therefore be used for sore throats, coughs and colds, and again it can be used to lower temperature. It's quite useful, and it can produce useful berries, and within about 18 months of germination, so it's a very fast growing tree. Finally, this is a horse chestnut tree, Aesculus hippocastanum. It is of course mildly poisonous. One of the reasons it's poisonous is that it's high in saponins. Herbalists generally use the leaves, which are here, palmate and deeply divided into several leaflets. These just fall to pieces. It's normally more like that. So there you go, and obviously it's got the conkers. I'm not sure if there are any down here. I'll just have a quick look. No, doesn't look like it. Okay, so there you go. Just a couple of things about it. It's good for reducing edema, even cerebral edema, so it can be used for head injuries. Also, the classic use is in a cream for reducing varicose ulcers in the legs, that's insufficiency. It can also be used to make fire extinguishers because it has a soapy substance in it, and it's high in protein, so it can be used to feed cattle.